I think a couple things that aren't being applied in healthcare that we apply in every other area of our country, and that's market forces and transparency in markets. And there's still no transparency in the market of healthcare, so people can't really make great decisions. The second thing is markets have to work, and if markets are going to work, there has to be some personal responsibility. So you can keep this, but you're going to have to do it in a way that allows the rest of the market to absorb some of the costs associated with that, and free market principles are the way to do it. It's not what they've done in the Obama administration. You know, right now, we've lost a lot of the art of medicine through Obamacare because everybody's sitting at a computer, never looking at their patient, never really listening to their patient, filling out a required mandatory screen. The other thing is we've added ICD-10, which is about a $12 billion a year hit to the healthcare industry with no benefit for people's health. So you can do those things. You have to be very careful. Richard Burr and I and Orrin Hatch had a plan. We never got it out because the Democrats wouldn't let us. But there's a lot of ways to do this to still include people with pre-existing illness and kids that are at home.
But what would the mechanism be, Senator or Doctor? Would you repeal and then replace, or would you modify? And does the Affordable Care Act stay in place? Will it be in place in 5 years, do you think, Senator?
I don't think so, because there's nothing affordable to it. It's an absolute disaster. Has it brought some people in? Most of the people it's brought in have brought in on Medicaid. And you've lost a lot of people who can no longer afford the premiums or the deductibles that have resulted. And they used to have really pretty good insurance with a pretty good response. Now they can't afford what they had before because of the price inflation in it and the cost shifting. The idea of reforming healthcare in America is really important, but you got to do that in a way that actually puts the resources where they're needs and squeezes out. There's several studies that show $600 to $800 billion a year that's spent in healthcare is wasted. 600 to 800 billion.
You think? Sorry, Senator, I'm just curious. I mean, there were 13 or 14% of the people who voted made up their mind in the last 2 weeks of the election, it sounded like. And one of the things that happened was 10 days before they got their premium notices. Do you think, in the irony of all ironies, Obamacare kind of tilted the whole election in Trump's favor, given the margin of victory? I mean, in some states, that might have been the final straw.
Well, I think it helped.
It's sort of odd, isn't it? I mean, the thing that's supposed to help, it will be the end of the legacy of Obama, probably.
Well, you know, one of the things that happens is when something really starts hitting your pocketbook and somebody's responsible for it and the other person saying, I'm going to lessen that, it changes allegiances fairly quickly, especially if you're on a tight string.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.